The Two Streams by Oliver Wendell Holmes, 1809 to 1894. Behold the rocky wall that down its sloping sides pours the swift raindrops, blending as they fall in rushing river tides. Yon stream whose sources run, turned by a pebble's edge, is Athabasca, rolling toward the sun. Through the cleft mountain ledge the slender rill has strayed, but for the slanting stone, to evening's ocean, with the tangled braid of foam-flecked Oregon. So from the heights of will life's parting streams descends, and as a moment turns its slender rill, each widening torrent bends. From the same cradle's side, from the same mother's knee, one to long darkness and the frozen tide, one to the peaceful sea. So, this is a poem by Oliver Wendell Holmes. Holmes was an American. He was born in Boston, and he went to a private school in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and then he went to Harvard. He studied law for a short time before actually becoming a doctor, and he became a doctor of medicine from Harvard Medical School. He started writing poems at an early age, and many of his poems were published in the Atlantic magazine. He was friends with Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry Wadsworth Longfellow and James Lowell and others. Now, what's this poem about? Well, this poem is about two rivers. It's called Two Streams, and this is what it says. It's about the Oregon River, which flows into the Pacific Ocean. It's called the Columbia River also, and the Athabasca River, which actually flows north into the Arctic waste. Both of these rivers start from the same source, but they run in different directions. And this is the idea, or this is the metaphor, that the tiniest little thing can change the course of our lives. And he's focusing on one pebble turning a raindrop, and one will go down the Oregon River to the Pacific Ocean, whereas another raindrop will be turned by a pebble and it will flow north into the Athabasca River and into the northern wastes of Canada. I should have said these rivers are rivers that start in Canada, in the centre of Canada. And this is how our lives can be, that just one very small thing can turn our lives, and instead of going into the warm Pacific Ocean, we can end up in the Arctic wastes. And I think this is also focusing on the soul, that you can end up going to heaven or going to hell by one very slight decision, one very small decision made earlier in one's life. Behold the rocky wall that down its sloping sides pours the swift raindrops, blending as they fall in rushing river tides. So look at this wall of rock, and down the sides of this rock the raindrops are falling, they're coming down, and they're mixing together as the raindrops fall, and they're becoming a river. Yon stream whose sources run, turned by a pebble's edge, is Athabasca, rolling towards the sun. So you see that the stream over there. The source of this river is turned by the edge of a pebble, and I have this image of a sharp pebble, and the water, and it goes one way into one river and it goes the other way into the other river, and it's rolling towards the sun. It's rolling in the direction of the sun, through the cleft mountain ledge. So a cleft is a split, and it's rolling and it falls over the edge of a mountain ledge. The slender rill has strayed, but for the slanting stone, to evening's ocean, with the tangled braid of foam-flecked Oregon. So there's one stream, the Athabasca, going in one way, but in the other direction, some of the water has strayed in another direction, perhaps through this towards ledge, and there's a stone that slants at an angle, and this water is moving towards the ocean, towards the Pacific Ocean, into the Oregon River, and one is the Oregon River and the other is the Athabasca. So from the heights of will, life's parting stream descends. So I think life is in the same thing, that when we begin, we are like the source of a river high up on a mountain, and the stream starts to come down. And as a moment turns its slender rill, each widening torrent bends, and then there can be a moment that turns the river in one way or in another. A rill is a small stream. And the heights of will, the will that you can do anything you want when you're born, you can be anything you want, and the stream comes down and it separates, and there are different possibilities, and as you come down the river gets bigger, and I think that the possibilities to change become less. From the same cradle side, from the same mother's knee. So the two rivers have the same source, from the same cradle, from the same mother. One river goes to long darkness and the frozen tide. So one river goes up into northern Canada and becomes part of the frozen wastes, and one flows down into the Pacific, into Oregon, and into the peaceful sea. And this poem is looking at the possibilities of life, and how different things can happen to you, and small decisions and small changes can have very large effects later on. So, The Two Streams by Oliver Wendell Holmes. Bye for now.